brilliant speed with vibrant service, vibrant broadband internet.
Well, thank you, audience, for listening. Thank you, Jeff, for having us. My name is Shane.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Josh.
And welcome to Vibrant You Live. Today we're going to have our 91st annual meeting, and co-ops have an annual meeting every year. That's why it's called annual, right? And that's where the members can come in and they get an overview of the financials of the co-op and how things are going. And so usually the board president speaks, and then the CEO speaks, and the CFO speaks, and there's some other things that go on. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be happening today at 4:00. So if you're a Meeker Energy member, come on in and take advantage of that. But after that, we are having our member appreciation and now vibrant subscriber appreciation, and that is where we serve a nice dinner. Today it's Wattenhofer pork chops.
All about the pork chops.
Yeah, it's all about the pork chops and all the fixings to go with it. We're going to have bingo. That's popular. Nice. And we're going to have vendors come in and show a lot of electric tools, mowers and bikes, things like that. We'll have our booths there. We're going to have two vibrant booths, a business vibrant booth and a residential vibrant booth. So if you have questions about vibrant or maybe you are a vibrant subscriber, come on up. We'll have a chance to win a prize. And Heartland Security is going to be there.
Nice.
And they're another cooperative that's owned by different cooperatives. It's a security business that it works on residential and business security items. So they're going to show off a lot of their security products.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited about that because it's super cool.
Yeah, they've got a lot of cool things. For the kids, we have a petting zoo and also bounce houses.
Nice.
So that'll be good. And I mentioned bingo as well. It starts at 4:30, goes till 7:30 today. So, if you're a Meeker member or a Vibrant subscriber, please join us. So that brings us to today's topic. And today's topic is, what is a cooperative? And they've been around for a long time, right, Jane?
That is correct.
Actually, they've been around since the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started in England. There was a group of workers that wanted to come together, and they wanted to create a grocery store.
Okay.
Yeah, and they came with some simple ideas of everyone has a vote in a cooperative. Everyone shares in the benefits, and it's really exists to serve the members.
Okay.
So not the outside investors, which makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
And who we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that quickly spread, and people used the cooperative to get access to food and banking and housing and farming, and electrical cooperatives kind of came out of that. They came later on, but for the exact same reason. So
okay, and so a cooperative started because the people weren't being served to their benefit.
Right.
It was taken advantage of, or maybe they couldn't even be served.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So that's kind of where that all came to be. It's interesting that, like Litchfield, the electricity in Litchfield came in the late 1800s.
Uh-huh.
But out in the rural where we started, it was like 40 years later. So kind of.
Can you imagine?
No,
right?
1935 is when it started, right? So how many years is that? Like 40 something?
47 years.
Yep.
That would be like if we thought, okay, we're going to bring internet starting today, but you don't get to have it until 40 years from now, like 2066.
So imagine the city folk, right? They're like, we have electricity, and then Josh is a rural guy, comes in, he's like, why do you guys have electricity and I don't? So
yeah, I'm still cutting ice chunks out of the lake in the wintertime to keep my refrigerator full this summer.
You bet.
So the other thing is we have several examples of cooperatives in our area. So Cenex is Central County Co-op, and that is a membership. So there's a huge dip. So people always have to go into the co-op after they get gas so that they get they get to get their purchase on their account. So make sure you go do that when you get gas there.
Yeah.
And then the natural food co-op is also one, and that's great. They have a lot of organic foods and different fun things, especially if you are gluten-free. They have some really cool things there too.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Farmers Cooperative, the elevators, and they're located in Darwin and Eden Valley. And then you're going to laugh at me, but First District, I didn't even know that was a farmers cooperative.
Yeah.
So
it's a
it's a dairy farm.
cooperative.
Yeah. So that I just learned that. This year.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's pretty cool. And then of course Meeker Energy is a cooperative. So it's just it's fun to be a part of it. And there's that myth, right, about you don't have a choice. So Shane, why don't you go into detail about that one?
Yeah. So people think that, well, okay, so Meeker Energy is the only choice I have because I live in the rural area. So it's a monopoly. Well, that's really not the case. Because, I mean, I personally live in Litchfield, and I also don't have a choice where I get my electricity. I can only get it from Litchfield. And so when it comes to utilities, and a utility would be like your electric or your gas or even sometimes internet, right? Telephone, that kind of thing. It's so expensive. The infrastructure to build that is so expensive that businesses or like for-profit businesses aren't going to overbuild other, if somebody's already served with that utility, another company's not going to come in because it's so costly. Okay. But with a cooperative, it's a joint effort. You collectively come together to buy whatever it is you're going to buy, whether it's at the natural food co-op, they collectively buy food. And because of that collection, they can get that food at a lower cost than if they were just individually buying that food from a vendor. That's the idea of electric co-op. We the members come together and say, okay, we'll buy electricity from this company that creates the electricity, but because we are thousands and thousands of members, we want that electricity at a reduced cost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the idea of spreading that cost out. But the other thing too, when it comes to rural electricity versus city electricity, generally it's a little bit more expensive. And that's because the cost is spread out in a thinner area.
Yeah.
So for example, I believe Meeker Energy can serve for every mile of electricity, it's roughly 4 people on average. But in the city of Litchfield, it's like 4,000 or whatever. I mean, Litchfield's 2 miles wide and 2 miles, and 6,000 people. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, all that cost is spread in a smaller area.
Yeah.
So the important thing to remember is this: rural electricity costs more because of geography and math, not because of profit. And a cooperative is a not-for-profit entity. So, like a for-profit utility, for example, they've got to answer to shareholders and make a profit every year, and so they keep raising prices, and it can get out of hand. A cooperative, we do our best to keep that lower, and if there's any profit left over, that gets redistributed back to the membership.
Yeah.
So it's really not a monopoly. It's actually a super positive collective.
Yeah. Well, we all, as cooperatives, have principles that we work off of. There's 7 core principles, whether you're electric co-op, ag co-op, food co-op.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through those. We're voluntary and open. Our membership is. That means we are open to anyone who can use our services.
Mm-hmm.
And those members are willing to accept the responsibility of membership. We're democratic, member controlled. So of course, as a member, you get to be a part of the decision making, and you have a vote. The economic participation, so members contribute to the financials of the co-op, and they also share the benefits. So that's sweet. autonomy and independence, so we're self-governed. We're controlled by our members, so it's nice to have someone local to talk to if you're unhappy with what's going on in the co-op. So that's cool. And then you have education and training. So we're always trying to educate the participants of the co-op and understanding what the co-op is all about. So
Cooperative 101 came from that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yep.
And then we cooperate again with other cooperatives. So we kind of use each other's resources, and storms are a big part of that. When there's an outage or whatever, we bring in other co-ops or we go help others. And then we're also concerned for the community. That's the seventh. So supporting and improving the communities we serve.
So membership responsibility, it's more than being a customer. You have a voice and you have an ownership in the cooperative. And that is huge, especially when you have some concerns. You can talk to your board of directors, you can come in and talk to us. And there's just a lot of different fun things. And everybody has their own district. So if you are a member of ours and you don't know who your district board member is, come on out today to get a pork chop and meet your board member.
Yeah.
And then basically being a member it's looking out for yourself, but it's more importantly looking out for the entire membership. And I think Josh was explaining that a little earlier.
Right. And so cooperatives were built by communities for communities, right? To benefit everybody.
Yeah.
And so people came together to meet their own needs, whether it be for food or feed, dairy, or electricity. So the heart of it all is stewardship, making decisions that support not just yourself, but your neighbors and the long-term strength of the community. And so, like you say, Josh, the seventh principle, concern for community, we have a strong community here in Litchfield and Meeker County. And it shows by how well our members appreciate the cooperative, Meeker Energy, and Vibrant Broadband, of course. So yeah, it's that kind of a thing that that a cooperative is, and I hope everybody learned something about that today. So
No, I did.
Yeah.
So if you are a Meeker Energy member or a Vibrant subscriber, come on out today, 4:30 to 7:30. We're at Meeker Energy. Just come on in the doors, and we'd love to meet you. So it's from 4:30 to 7:30 today. And then if you have any questions, just give us a call. We're at 693-3231, or learn more about us at vibrantbroadband.com. And then catch the replay on Facebook and YouTube channel. Search for Vibrant Broadband. And then listen live every Wednesday at 10:30 on KLFD.
All right. Thank you, KLFD, for having us. Thank you, audience, for listening. My name is Shane.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Josh.
Tune in next week for another Vibrant You Live.
Vibrant broadband internet.